You already know what it is. What it do, 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 man.
What's good? What's good, my guy? You
We
know,
back.
another one. We here. You heard
Facts.
me?
Day late and all that. But you know what it
Yes,
is, man.
yes,
Episode
sir.
two of the of the of
In
the,
the Loop Podcast,
of the,
ladies
of
and
the
gentlemen. You already know what
podcast.
it
You dig
is.
it?
Formerly In the Loop Radio, and we back at it, podcast
Facts.
style. You heard?
So you know what? We here. We're gonna be up. We're gonna be on too long tonight. Let's get right into it. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. Last joint.
Mm-hmm.
Your joint that died and all that. You know what I mean? For y'all that watch,
Right.
that
Absolutely.
computer died on us, so we had to cut it short a little bit.
Right. Right. Yeah. Technical difficulties, man. We gonna get it right though. It's all good. We gonna get it all the way right. Just keep riding with us. You heard?
on
That's a snap, man.
on the game. So let's get straight to this video.
I rate when I was 11, Twist. I loved it. I ain't never pressed charge. I'm gonna do you like baby them did me. Yeah. I'll never forget that. They was all in the kitchen. I was scared. It was cool. There was about this many niggas and shit too in that bitch. I'll never forget the word. Suckle up Wayne let dick. Everybody sitting on the couch. Everybody in that bitch.
So I had that video
You
lined
gotta
up.
start with that, huh?
I had that video lined up for from based on the conversation that we was on with the Jim Jones joint last week. You know what I'm saying? I had to end it before we died, so we never really got to get into it. You feel me?
Right.
So this is a video that's recently resurfaced. Of course, it's nothing new. This is an old video, but it's recently resurfaced, especially with the Jim Jones situation that happened and all that, and dealing with whether or not men should be having, and you know, Baby claims Wayne to be his son, even
Right.
though it's not biological, but
Absolutely.
but
Know that,
still,
right.
he claims him to be his son. Is it
Absolutely.
cool for sons to be forced into sexual activity by their pops, or even coerced into it, regardless?
Right. No, I got you right. Yeah, I got segueing into that. Well, I don't think even going back to what we spoke about before. I don't think forced into it or coerced is the right thing. But I think, like I said, you know, father and son, like biological or not, if you have that father and son relationship, I think it has to come through discussions. Now, if you have the discussions, your son expressing to you, you know, that he's ready for that, you know, or he might have a little girlfriend and don't really know how, you know, think they might have a little situation where he don't really know what to do. Like, I think it just has to happen naturally.
And there has to
But
be
I
a
don't
certain context to it, like,
Absolutely.
because that's
But
my
like-
thing. Like, I don't feel like I feel like anytime family members are engaging in sexual activity, that's a form of incest, whether they're doing something together or not. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion of the matter. And I feel like if you send your son, if you to go in the next room to get some head, like remember the little Boosie shit was going on. He
Right.
got his son some top for his birthday or something like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I just feel like that's a form of sexual abuse that don't really get talked about, because usually it's a how you say it? What's the word for it? A double standard. You know what I'm saying? When it comes
Kinda
up
like taboo,
to
so to speak.
to boys and girls, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And well, you know, incest. Let's be clear. Incest is when two family members is engaging in sex with each other. So
Nah, that's a
incest.
fact. But I
Let's be
said
clear
that's
on
why I
what
said
incest is.
that's why I said I feel like it's a form of incest, because you shouldn't really be engaging in sexual activity with your son, regardless. Like, I don't think a man should be running a train on a bitch with his son. I don't think a man should be telling a chick to go suck his son dick. Like, you gotta be a man, and you gotta, you know what I mean? When it's time for you to earn your bones, you're supposed to earn them on your own. Like, you feel me? Or with your peers. Not so much with I don't think your pops. Like, that's some don't be a menace to South Central in the hood type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, like I said, if there's some I necessarily don't agree, because if there's some context to it, like, you know what I'm saying, say his son is 16 and him and his girlfriend is kissing and stuff like that, and he tells you about his encounter and he's like that, you know, I don't really know what to do, and you try, you know, you helping guide him to his first experience. I don't really think there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no.
But, like, how,
All right, giving advice versus putting my son in a room with a woman
Right.
to actually have sex, I think it's two different things. So I'm talking about the actual activity. I'm not talking about the conversation no more. Like, I'm not so much based on, because yes, as a man, you should have that conversation with your son. You feel me?
Right.
And where else is he gonna get it from? You feel me?
Right.
But
That's my point. Right.
should you be putting your meat out in front of your son while our bitch is topping you off and all that type of shit?
Nah, but see, that's totally
That's what I'm
different.
saying. I'm saying that type of shit is
Right.
borderline incest. That's incestuous. You feel me? Because I
Yeah,
mean, you're not doing anything together.
Not necessarily, but I hear you. It's along those realms you're saying. But
Yeah.
I said, no, but let's be clear on what incest is when two family members is engaging in sexual activity together. Let's be clear on what
No,
that
it's a
is.
fact.
But I heard you say
But I feel like that's a sexual
that type of
activity.
activity reminds me of that.
I feel like that's a sexual
So,
activity.
like,
In
when you're not like you know, I'm side by side, my son, he's getting chopped, and I'm like, yo, I'm next. You know what I'm saying that you know, incest is when you're, you know, man, female, you know, whether or man to man family members, and you're engaging.
I feel like that's a borderline, bro. I feel like that's a border.
Y'all in the room by yourself and y'all kissing and doing whatever else, fondling each other. That's it.
Yo, bro, I hear what you're saying, but I feel like there's a thin line right there with that. I feel like there's a thin, because if you in the room, like, bro, I don't even want to have my shit out around my son. Why you hard around your son? Like, I don't even want to have that type of, you know what I mean? That shit just feels weird. It sounds weird hearing it.
It is weird.
Hearing it sounds weird. Like,
incest is when two family members is engaging it together, not y'all like together with each other. Not y'all got a chick and y'all like, yo, we gonna. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying
Facts.
it reminds
But
of
you know
that,
what?
and that's cool. That's your opinion.
like we said, we're not gonna be on too long. So let's just move right along. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
That was just something to touch on, because it's like it's a double standard. And later on in later shows, maybe we'll have a whole show with a panel and we'll discuss that a little bit more in depth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was just something just to cap off last week, because we didn't get into it. And you know what I mean? So something else we was talking about, this Kanye West and Kim Kardashian issue with the kids and the Pete Davidson shit and all of this. Like what's going on, bro?
Yeah,
What's going on?
God maybe survive that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass, you know, to quote Kanye, you know what I'm saying, on that joint Easy with the gang.
I didn't even hear the song. I saw a lot of people posting about it.
Yeah, I like the joint. It ain't you know, super heated to me, but I like the joint. I say that I like it.
So I'm gonna play this little clip real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is about.
Yo, I'm so happy right now. I just came from Shy's party, and I just gotta shout out to Travis Scott for sending me the address and the time, and making sure that I was able to spend that birthday memory with my daughter, to be there with the rest of the family. And I just saw everybody. It was you know, Chris and Corey and Kylie. Kylie let me in right when I got to the spot, because the security, you know, stopped me once again when I got there. And you know, it's just a matter of just having a conversation, open dialogue, and it was just, everyone just had a great time. And I'm just really happy that I could be there for my children. I just want to thank everybody for their support in this situation. You know, just let me just calmly and legally take control of my narrative. I know we disagree.
Right.
People have different opinions on a lot of different things that I do, but with this one, this is my main focus. My life centers around my children, and I just had a great time today. Thank everybody for their support. Peace.
Facts. Give me your thoughts on that, bro, and on that whole situation.
I mean, I'm with Kanye 100%. I mean, you know, being that, you know, I have children of my own and stuff like that, you know, and understand how important conversation is. What he's saying was so important, conversation and dialogue. Like, even if you and the baby moms are not getting together, when it comes to a child's birthday, I mean, is it that bad that you don't want the dad there during the birthday party? And like I said, we're not in the house. We're not on the inside of Kanye and Kim Kardashian's relationship, but just us looking from the outside in, we men, you know what I'm saying? We have relationships of our own, and we understand we have children of our own, we understand those times are special. And if you don't have to miss it, like if he's not on tour in Europe, you know, say during one of his daughter's birthday, if he's in the city, you know what I'm saying, in the town, in the area, like for a woman to not want to deny him the privilege of being at his daughter, especially when they're that young, you know what I'm saying, that's when you really want to be there for them. To deny him to be in the presence, I think it's messed up. So he spoke very eloquently, and he was very humble about it. And I'm glad, like I said, salute to Travis for sending him the address. It sounded like if Travis Scott didn't send him the Addy, he probably wouldn't have made it. You know what I'm saying? But Travis Scott having the children of his own, he understood and respected it. So I'm totally with Kanye, and I think it's ridiculous that women do things like this. And I just thought, I didn't know it was that serious that Kim Kardashian would try to keep him out of his daughter. I think it was his daughter's, right? His daughter's party. So that's my take on it.
Nah, that's cool. Another thing, like, because, you know, now this has been ongoing for about a year now with them.
Right.
And she's obviously dating nigga Pete Davidson now.
Right.
Is there a point where he's just like, where he just gotta learn to do his own thing? Because how long is he gonna be able to do that? And is that gonna create? Is like as far as crash the party? You know what I'm saying? Like, because
but I don't think that's like crashing the party. Like, I mean, he didn't crash the party. Like, I mean, it's not really, you know, it's not like crashing the party. I mean, it's your daughter's birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact. But what I'm saying, like, he wasn't invited, right? Now, did that stir up something within the family? Because Travis Scott now had to, because he's messing with Cali, right?
Right, exactly.
So he, you know what I mean, doing something that's like underhanded against Kim, and it's like, you feel me?
Right.
It's like,
I thought of that too.
Like, how is that going to play out long term? Like, how long is that? How many times is that going to able to happen? To where where it gets to a point where now you're gonna have to just realize, all right, you know what? We're not dealing with each other. Cool, you'll have your birthday party, and when I get we'll have a birthday party with me.
Right, and you know what? You know what's crazy? If it's that bad, like if it's that bad, then sometimes that's how it has to be. But you're right. I thought that going back to what you said about the Travis, I wanted to speak on that too. Like, does Kim look at him like, oh, does she look at him funny now, or she's getting in a beef with her sister, like, oh, why your husband or your man sent Kanye the address? You know, I didn't want him here. So that's an interesting point too. We never know the conversation that happened behind that. But at the same time, now what you're saying about you have the parties and we have the party. I mean, they gazillionaires, right? So they can definitely do that with no problem. But I think Kanye would want, like, listen, we have one while your mom's
He's
there.
still trying to fight for the relationship, though. We gotta keep it a buck. He's still trying to fight for the relationship, and she's walking in the streets with another dude.
Right.
Like, at what point do we just say fuck this bitch,
right,
and keep it pushing?
No,
you
but see,
walking with.
I think he's kind of there now. Because at first, when he was showing up, you know what I'm saying, to getting houses, just showing up to places they were. But according to some of his lyrics, some more lyrics that he said on that Game record, talking about we having the best divorce ever. I think he's embracing it now. You know what I'm saying? Now he's being out with his new girlfriend. Forgot to name another model chick and all that. So I think he's embracing, like, listen, she's moving on. I think I'm gonna have to move on. But at first, it was like he was really trying to hold on to it. But I think it's getting to his head that she probably just is fed up and don't want to be there, whatever the reasons are. And he's got that. That's what it looks like to me.
To me, I feel like with Ye, I don't even think it's so much like he's fighting for the relationship, but he's fighting for the relationship because the relationship is in the public eye. He don't want to seem wrong when everybody told you so. The whole world told this nigga, don't fuck with that girl, don't fuck with that family. You feel me? And now this shit is coming back to bite him on the ass. So he's trying to do everything in his power to not be the nigga with the egg on his face. But billionaire or not, you got egg on your face, bro.
Nah, indeed. You know, and then putting that, it's crazy, you know, it's so similar with the 4 seeds, you know, me having 4 to myself. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah, you know, got 4 seeds in it, you know, I guess thought it was going to be about them. And, you know, whatever the situation was, you know what I'm saying, caused it to be where it is today.
And now,
it's very interesting, though.
And now do you hear Wack 100 released that he has part 2 of the sex tape with Ray J.
Right, yeah, crazy. I was gonna say
this shit is never ending, bro. The Ray J shit, like, he's stuck around longer than anybody, bro. Like, we still talking about Ray J 20 years later.
It's been reported that he said he stopped it from being released. Like, you know what I'm saying? I read an article that said that he.
Yeah, they saying
like I stopped that from being released.
Wack had the video, and Wack was reaching out through Clubhouse for Kanye to holler at him because he want to give the footage to Kanye.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I guess like on some, oh, this bitch is playing with you. Here, I give you the power over that. Right, but you know, Wack is a funny individual itself, because he does nothing. He does nothing for nothing. He does nothing for nothing. He don't want nothing up front. But now I'm your boy. Let's create a relationship.
He's a character in himself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact. But let's keep it on pushing. Let's keep it on pushing, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. And so something else we ain't talk about. Your man, Hot Sauce Papi.
Oh, Hot Sauce Papi, not Shannon. Drizzy, Champagne.
Hot Sauce Papi, bro. Shorty want to sue, son.
Right.
In case y'all don't know, everybody on here that's watching this should know. But in case you don't, Drake put hot sauce in the condom after he was done with it, tied it up, threw it in the trash. Shorty busted open, threw it in her, and now she wants compensation. Now they're saying that the shit was a malicious act.
Right.
You feel me? It was like a booby trap, which you're not allowed to do.
But you know
how you
why
feeling?
I say allegedly too, because this is what I look at. Is people just like, I mean, I don't not to quote Jermaine Charlemagne, but people hate the truth. People like a lie because it's more entertaining. People don't want the truth because the lie is more entertaining. You like to say, right? But this is my thing, right? If Drizzy's having relations with the female, right, and he's wearing a plastic bag, so to speak, you know, which is a condom, right?
Right.
And he yaks off in it, and he goes into the bathroom. Why wouldn't he just flush it down the toilet? Why wouldn't you?
No,
I mean, like,
you know what? Listen,
so
that's what all of.
This is why I'm saying I don't even believe the whole story. Because why would I mean, cool, hot sauce or not, flush it down the toilet where it's gone fast.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That was the most Drake-ish shit ever right there, bro. Like, listen. We gotta remember who we talking about. We talking about a nigga who allegedly rented the hotel room above Meek Mills and put all the speakers facing down, playing back to back all night. Like this is little petty shit he's into. Little light skin shit. Like, let's give it a buck. Like light skin shit. Light skin shit. But it's hilarious though. But listen, at the end of the day, I feel you. Why didn't he just throw it in the toilet?
No, and I'm saying that's why I think the story's kind of. He never confirmed it too. Remember, it's just a story that came out, and they said the female's supposed to be suing, but they said, and it's funny thing, they said he went in the bathroom, tied up, throwing the trash. What man? This just don't seem real. Because if he's worried about a female, this is Drizzy. You know what I'm saying? This is the hottest rapper in the world for the last 10 years. Why wouldn't he's worried about someone doing that? Why would he just flush it down the toilet? Why would he throw it in the garbage, put hot sauce store in the garbage, unless he did that intentionally? Like, I'm not gonna flush this. I want her to.
Nah, it was definitely intentionally. Listen, that's some real dirty, grimy shit to do. Like, yo, listen, first of all, he's gonna have mad people doing this shit now, bro. Like, fuck it. Because now I want to see if you a dirty bitch like you say you is. Right. It's like a test. Like,
no, there you go. Now, see, there you go. Now we on the same page.
Like, is you a dirty?
He probably did it on a test. Like, I know
right.
I'm gonna come in try to get this, so let me hot sauce it. That now.
No,
on the same page.
but it was probably more or less like, let me see if she's that type of chick.
There you go.
You feel me? Like, I'm fucking with her. I'm fucking with her, but I ain't trying to have no baby with her. But let me see if she's on it like that.
Yes. Now, see, that makes sense. That makes the only sense to me. But people are kind of was reporting that, oh, you know, he just did that recklessly, like, oh, I'm gonna. Well, you could have just flushed it down. But if he did that, like, let me test and see what kind of broad this chick is.
It's still malicious, though. It's still malicious. It's still malicious. It's still a booby trap, and it still makes him liable for some bread. But we'll see how that play out later, because
I don't know exactly. We don't got
no.
But just real quickly before we move on, how he ain't do nothing to harm her.
No, what they're saying is the fact that he left it there with the intent for her to pick it up and do that with her so that she can be burned by the Tabasco sauce is malicious. Like, and it's not legal. Like, you can't it's crazy because as far as I remember, about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, there was a show on the fucking TV called Bait Car where they was booby trapping niggas.
Facts. Bait Car,
But
absolutely. Entrapment, which is basically entrapment, which is supposed to be illegal.
we can't booby trap, but we can. It is what it is, bro.
No, yeah, I say he wins that case. Though. I say he wins that easy with the money and the lawyers he got. I say he wins that. But like you said, moving on. You know what I'm saying?
If it even becomes a case, like he might shoot 10,000 at a Cash App, tell her shut up, fall back, you'll be alright.
Yeah, he beats that easy.
You know what I mean? Cool. So this shit here, son. Did you peep this? Let me play this quick video real quick. It's 2 minutes and 28
Police say a
seconds.
suspect is now under arrest after a gunman opened fire at Jacoby Hospital in the Bronx. One man was wounded during Tuesday's shooting.
The arrest comes as Mayor Adams is facing pressure to reduce gun violence in the city. CBS's Elijah Westbrook is live in the Morris Park section of the Bronx. Elijah.
Well, Chris and Mary, I can tell you it appears business as usual here at Jacoby Hospital in the Bronx following that shooting. But now after the dust has settled, there are growing calls for Mayor Adams to put a stop to such violence.
The mayor needs to step up, because now this is getting ridiculous. People can't even come to the emergency room now.
Gunshots out of all places erupting in the emergency room here at Jacoby Hospital Tuesday around noon. Police say the surveillance video shows Keber Martinez dressed in all black in the waiting room when he suddenly pulls out a gun and starts shooting at a 35-year-old man in a blue hoodie.
Told in the vicinity, but you know what I'm trying to say? I saw the blood, I heard the shot.
Police say the victim was waiting to see a doctor when the suspect came to visit a patient. Investigators believe the two previously knew each other and recognized one another inside. Sources tell us the victim was shot in his arm and underwent surgery.
We need to work together to get these guns off our streets.
The pressure is now increasing for Mayor Adams to get a grip on the city's crime crisis. On Tuesday, Adams spent the day defending his new plans to combat New York's gun violence, which includes bringing back a new version of the NYPD's anti-gun unit. The new units will be sent to 30 precincts, which account for 80% of gun crimes.
We're going to make sure this is not the anti-crime unit of the days. These officers are going to wear identifiable parts of police attire, and we will never use under my administration any abusive targeted tactics that goes after people based on their ethnicity and where they live.
The mayor's proposals also include using facial recognition to identify people who carry guns and selectively appointing judges who are committed to cracking down on violent offenders. And back here live, we're learning this morning that Governor Hochul is expected to...
Crazy. So yeah, like, I'm like, bro, first of all, this is my issue. Above the borderline, or should we say the front line issues, how you that close to a dude, let off 4 shots, and hit him 1 time in the forearm?
Yeah, well.
How does that work out, bro?
No, absolutely. I hear you. That's
like, if this is what you're gonna do, if this is your goal,
right?
You see a nigga, you see an op, you're gonna get at the op. Why you only hit, like, make it make sense?
No, well, I got you. You speaking from the street perspective, but
no, I'm just speaking from any perspective.
I don't think they just randomly saw each other. Like, it's more to that story that, you know, the news is not reporting. Of course, the news is always reporting what they heard, but there's so much more to that story. Like,
possibly.
Like, it has to be. Like, dude know he was going to be in the hospital, so he came there. It's not like he was there visiting. They said he was there visiting somebody just or happened to see him, had his gun on him. That was all planned out.
Nah, bro. They caught that dude. Hold on. They caught that dude, and they caught him because he filled this information out on the paper.
What they caught? What, the shooter?
The shooter.
Right.
He was there to be seen. And what happened was he saw the op, but the op didn't notice him.
Right.
You feel me? Listen,
There's something spooky about that.
I'm gonna keep it. Check this out. You talking about Jacoby Hospital? You know where Jacoby is at? What's right on the other side of the fence of Jacoby Hospital?
I'm not sure.
The 49 precinct.
Oh, the precinct. Okay.
It's right there. Like the emergency exit of Jacoby is facing the 49 precinct. Nobody's planning to go shoot nobody there, bro.
Nah, you listen, dumb criminals, man. These dudes are stupid out here.
Nah, he was definitely dumb. He was definitely dumb. Like,
didn't even dawn on them that. I think these niggas are just that dumb that you will go plan to shoot somebody in the hospital knowing that the precinct is across the street or not really realizing it. Niggas is that dumb in the record.
not even across the street, in the same campus. It's just the other side of the parking lot.
Right.
The 49 is right there. Right on what's that?
Is that East Chester?
East Chester Road.
East Chester. I know exactly where it's
Right
at.
on East Chester Road.
Right. Oh wow, you're right. Absolutely. I can see it now. It's right on East Chester. Right.
The emergency.
It's not too far from, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I was just there recently because my mother was in a car accident. So I was just like last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. I was in the exact space where this shit happened, in the emergency room. So this is why I know in depth. Like nobody in their right mind, it's not set up for you to really go there plotting and like, let me get him here. If you plotting, you gonna wait till he leaves there at least.
I mean, what makes you think you're gonna get away? I don't know. Like I said, man, that's kind of unfathomable. I can't even call that one.
But he got away. He did get away. They caught up with him the next day. But he got out of there.
A brain malfunction, man.
So, along with that, they also spoke about this new mayor we got up here. And it seems like this nigga, man, it seemed like he walking a fine line. Like he trying to walk the fine line. Like he want to represent the black people, the black community, but then he realized also it's a bunch of other people in this community, in the city and other communities that he also got to like. So it seems like, because he was talking about he wanted to send the plainclothes unit back out there.
Right.
And now he's saying they're going to be a different type of plainclothes. They're going to have NYPD logos
visible. They're going to be identifiable. Remember, because a lot of the complaints about the old gun squad was you didn't know who they was. Dudes just wound up shooting at them, getting the shootouts. They run up talking about freaks pulling out guns and wearing army fatigues. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even know they was cops back in the day. So we trying to say that they're going to be identifiable. You're going to know that they're NYPD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they're going to be in regular attire.
Right, but maybe he's had some patch on the arm or whatever. We'll see what they
like.
What he comes
Shit has been horrendous, man, in the city. Since the new year, like we just count from the new year, bro.
As they like to call it, the gun menace is definitely reared its ugly head. Man, there's been a lot of shootings and stuff. Babies getting shot. And stuff like that.
So it was a 1-year-old, right? 1-year-old shot in the face.
Like I can't even imagine, man. I'm going to tell you. Listen, I can't even talk about what I want to do to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that was a terrible situation. You know what I'm saying? Dudes bodying cops. You know what I'm saying? Bodying cops. It's getting crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely, it's
like,
going back to the Wild Wild West.
So what's your opinion on it? Like, how do you feel about this new? Like me personally, I'm not too heavy into the politics, but I don't feel like. I feel like the murders is only a problem because it's crossing over into the media. You feel me? I don't really think they care about stopping the murders as much as they care about it being publicized and making it look bad.
Right. Well, not necessarily I would say cross into media, because media always gets a hold of the stories, right, of the crime that happened. That's, media always reports it. So I don't necessarily think it's getting, crossing over into them. But it's nothing new, right? Unfortunately, but I think it's all about the reports. I think they're reporting it more because it's always been shootings and stuff like that, right? And stuff like that. So that's like nothing new, unfortunately.
Right.
But I think it just looks like with the new mayor coming in and stuff like that, they're just like they're focusing on that. They're focusing on gun crime and thinking of ways that they're saying they can stop that. But, the city's been the Wild Wild West, you know what I'm saying? But since the New Year's came in, it has been some unscrupulous shooting going on. Like I said, there's been a couple of cops got shot, 2 cops that got killed in Harlem. There was another cop, I think in the Bronx, that had a suspect and he was fumbling with the gun and shot the cop in the leg and shot himself in the leg. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a couple of instances where, guns has went off and hit officers. So I think that's why they're kind of getting crazy on it, because cops are being affected, getting wounded and killed.
Nah, that's the crazy shit too. Yeah, for sure. It's been they're saying the numbers is rising, and then at the same time, it's a big campaign against the Biden dude and the Black Lives Matters with the, changing the laws. And so it's like lately, remember we was talking last week, I was saying how the police is a little more lax nowadays, and they're allowing shit to happen. You feel me? And it's coming from somewhere. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's just, because like you said, the gun violence ain't changed.
Right.
You feel me? It's been there. What's being reported is raising
a lot. Concern, and truthfully, it just came to me. I think what they want, like the higher powers want. Remember, these bail reform laws are really, they really make a lot of people sick. Bail reform laws, especially with the new DA, Mr. Bragg and all that. Mr. Bragg, I believe, instructing people in his jurisdiction to not, like judges and stuff like that, to not non-violent offenders. A lot of people getting out with no bail.
Right.
Saying if it's non-violent and stuff like that, and the people that's getting out of jail was committing more crimes and shit like that. So I think the politicians in these certain places, in the GOP and on the Democratic side of things, they want these new laws repealed. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the part of why they making it, a big thing and reporting it so crazy. They want these bail reform laws to go back. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a big part of it.
Even people who was for these reforms are starting to wonder, you know what I'm saying, where they stand on this shit. Because it's like, it got to be a balance, man. It got to be some type of balance. We can't just have all-out chaos.
Right.
You feel me? But we just can't have total military state. You feel me? Like, so it's like, we walking a fine line with this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And depending on where you at, it's fucked up. But black people don't really donate to politicians and people in these high offices. So we end up, the places where we live end up being neglected a lot more, because they got to go deal with the Jew, because the Jew is putting their money where their mouth at. They got to go deal with the Chinese. They got to deal with these people that they made promises to first.
No, absolutely. The people that lobby for them, the lobbyists and stuff that go there and lobby, for different things and stuff like that, and put the money into their campaign, those people that they're going to serve.
First.
Like unfortunately, the minorities we don't lobby these politicians.
We don't have the money to do it.
We don't have
but
resources.
We don't use our numbers, though. You feel me? We got the numbers to do it. We don't got the money to do it. But how many people is even... See, it gets lower. We so based on... a lot of us get caught up on the presidential type shit, where really we need to be dealing with the aldermen, right, like city council,
or the higher level means nothing. The
right,
local government comes in,
right,
senators, you know what I'm saying,
city council,
Congress and,
city council, aldermen, like the people who actually see. It's a smaller number of people voting for them. It's a more narrow race. It's only a neighborhood versus a whole city or a whole borough. They only got a neighborhood.
True.
So now you got to deal with me up front in my face. Your office is where I live at. And we don't move like that. We don't move like that. We vote for whoever we see attached to Biden or attached to, you know what I mean? Not based on the nigga who I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get some shit changed. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these, we talked about that fire, that building fire that happened. And I heard Cardi B decided she's going to take care of the funerals for the 19 families and all that. And but remember we was talking about all of problems in that building. You know what I'm saying? All the issues, all the technical issues they was having in that building and all that. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to who is representing you.
Right.
If you know who's representing you, them shits would have been fixed a long time ago. If they had their city councilmen or they aldermen coming in there talking about regulation codes and all that, all they do is go downstairs and complain and talk shit and fuck around and fight the landlord and get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother. And plus, you heard, speaking of Cardi B just won a lawsuit against blogger Tasha K for almost $4 million for slander. For slander.
Right. There you go. Got him.
How you feel about that? Are you even up on that story?
No, I'm aware. I mean, I'm not even too familiar with the Tasha K thing, but I definitely was familiar with the report of Cardi B won the lawsuit, winning the lawsuit against him.
Right.
I'm saying we should get the money is the question.
So the whole issue was she went on she's a blogger on YouTube and all of that. She went on her platforms and did an interview with a girl who claimed that Cardi B was a stripper, a prostitute,
right,
and she had herpes. And she took that shit for what it was and she ran with it. After getting the cease and desist and all that, and still ran with it. Didn't care, so Cardi took her to court and sued her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Claiming that she was having suicidal thoughts and so forth and all that. But
yeah, definitely, that's crazy. I read a little bit of it, but I wasn't aware of the whole thing that was going on until she won the lawsuit.
This shit been going on for like a year now. This shit been going on for like a year on these YouTube streets, man. You feel me? And then that shit. The thing about that is it's gonna change the game for a lot of these bloggers. You know what I mean? And a lot of these entertainment people is gonna be able to fight back, and they're gonna use this case to set precedent.
Yeah, just say what you want about somebody and stuff like that. Think it's okay just because you online. You think we got freedom of speech, but I mean, there's a limit to what you can say. You can't just slander somebody. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
Without facts or proof.
It's a fact. And the fact that she gave you the opportunity to take it down, she told her the only way she'd take it down is if she come on her platform. So
yeah, they try to bribe me.
Right. You try to strong arm me. So at the end of the day, she's out of here. She lost that one. Another one for the BX.
No, yeah, another one.
Facts.
As we said at the top of the show, man, we ain't gonna be on too long.
You mute. You went mute.
A little sports real quick.
Nah, facts. Factual.
Quickly elaborate on.
Yeah, you had a little. You had a little rant you wanted to get into too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about last week's game specifically. I mean, shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs, but shout out to the Buffalo Bills too, man. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen and the rest of those guys. They got nothing to hang their heads about. It was a wonderful game, arguably one of the best games in NFL history, and that's from not just coming from me as a football fan. It's come from a lot of the commentators and analysts who saying it's like really one of the greatest games ever. Salute to Joe Burrow, the Bengals, and salute to Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. But my rant is about Mr. Greatest thrower of the football ever, Aaron Rodgers, right? I don't want to never hear people talk about this guy again in the way that they've been talking about him. This so-called bad man, as Stephen A. likes to talk about, has sold his team out in the playoffs at least the last 4 times. If I'm not mistaken, the last 4 or 5 times, went out in the 4th round. I mean, I just feel like Aaron Rodgers is so overrated. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a good quarterback. I can't even call him great at this point, right? But he's arguably one of the greatest ever. A lot of people consider him the greatest thrower of the football. That's what they say. He's the greatest thrower of football. He just throws it so effortlessly and so graceful. But if you can't lead your team to these victories, even at home in Lambeau Field with freezing cold, which is in your jurisdiction,
right? At the end of the day, you're a loser.
Because that's what you're used to playing at. If you can't lead your team to victory in the last 4 playoff games, you go out in the 1st round. It's like you don't deserve to be called like one of the greatest ever. I mean, you have these new guys coming in, playing their asses off, supporting their team, leading their team to victories, and Aaron Rodgers is just—he's been dismal. As my man Colin Cowherd like to say, he doesn't trust his teammates. Or he throws the balls to Devontae Adams and my man Aaron Jones, which are great players, but you got a whole team, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady won Super Bowls hitting 5 targets all through the game, and this guy throws the ball to 2 players.
Did you jump on the FanDuel with this dude?
It's crazy.
Did you jump on the FanDuel with this dude?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. I didn't lose any money regarding him. I know a lot of people did because they thought he was gonna win at home.
He said absolutely not.
People consider him to be a good quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo threw a couple of interceptions and they still won the game. But, you know, San Francisco has a running game that has a great coach in Mr. Shanahan. So it's really the coaching that wins it for San Francisco. But Aaron Rodgers, man, my quick rant is that forget calling him one of the greatest ever. Not even that. Forget calling him the greatest star of the football ever. That shit is out. He's overrated and overpaid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give Aaron Rodgers a big thumb down here in the Loop Radio, in the Loop podcast. A big thumbs down. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I
and
dig
that's
it.
just that for that.
And that's just that. Nah.
Ain't gonna spend too much time on it.
No, it's a fact. I mean, that was pretty much it, man. We wanted to run through a couple things, man. We're not gonna stay on here too long, take up too much time and all that. But what we will be doing is through the week. You know what I'm saying? If something comes up that we feel so inspired to speak on, we will.
Right.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
But catch us on the Wednesday night. That's how we rocking.
Right. Hold tight. We gonna get it right. Just rock with us, man. And you know, we gonna rock with you. We gonna get it real right. And we in the loop.
You dig? We out of here.
Salute.